Showreel is going to do is going to show you having the ability to interact with other actors in a very natural,
Yeah.
truthful way.
What's up, everyone? We've got a special guest today. We've got Johnny Neal from Actors Edits. Welcome, Johnny.
Thanks, man. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, just getting by, doing what you got to do.
You been up to much?
Yeah, well, lately, actually, I've been producing a new series that's going to be shot during lockdown. I can't
Oh,
talk
wow.
too much about it.
Yeah,
We've had all the actors sign NDAs and stuff. So,
yeah.
but yeah, no, it's looking promising. And yeah, just been really, really busy with that, giving people acting lessons as well
Oh, wow.
through Actors Edits, which is one of the services that we offer. And yeah, just staying busy, just doing what everyone else is doing and just trying to survive while all this is going on. How are
Yeah,
you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Yeah. So tell us a bit about yourself. Like, obviously, what do you do and what is Actors Edit and whatnot?
Okay, so I started acting when I was 7 years old. That's professionally as well. So I got a lot of experience from being a child and then leading into being an adult. And
Yeah.
I've kind of seen, you kind of, as you experience that, you experience the transition of responsibilities. And you learn a lot along the way about, how the industry works, how it used to work and how it's changed. And what's required of you as an actor, especially like a working class actor who, is someone who's not grown up with privilege so much, So I started Actors Edits because along the way I had learned how to edit films, shoot films and stuff like that. And when I entered into the industry as an adult, I had started editing my own show reels together.
All right.
And along
Okay.
the way,
Yeah.
I had gathered a lot of information from casting directors who I had spoken to, agents who I had spoken to and had, and it's kind of all accumulated into this big bubble of knowledge about how a show reel works and how they look at show reels and how you should present yourself within that. And I've been using that for myself, and I kind of thought, well, why not use that to, help educate others and help other people improve their show reels. So I started Actors Edits, a way of basically being able to obviously make a little bit of money out of my skills, but at the same time being able to teach people, actually, this is what a casting director is looking for. This is what's help you. So one of the things that I do when I'm doing people's show reels is I try and look for what their casting type is, and obviously I'll talk to them and find out what their agent wants out of it as well. But if they're kind of like, a lot of people come to me and they're like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And that's fair, because when I started out, I had no idea either.
Neither did I.
It's like, I want to take all the roles. But you need to find a little niche for yourself, and I try
100%,
find that. I try and help people find that while using their footage to show them off to the best of their ability.
So, what is a show reel? So for people starting out, or for actors who are maybe just graduating from like uni or whatnot, what is considered is a show reel?
It's a show reel. So a show reel, at its most basic kind of level, a show reel is essentially an example of you doing the work. That can be anything from a single scene presented within the context of a show reel. So the way that I always show reels is by introducing it with a little ident, like a card with someone's headshot, professional looking headshot, their actor's name, and then their contact details. Whether that be a spotlight number, agent email, or their own personal email. So that people know it's a show reel and not just a scene. after that, again, it's just examples of their work, the best possible
Yeah.
examples of their work. Now, you get more complicated as you move along, because at the start, obviously, you're taking work, student films, that sort of thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
to try and get that footage, to try and get footage of you working to show, look, I can act.
Yeah.
Beyond that kind of initial I can act premise, you want to be looking to actually show these are the different sides of me acting. So, you know, I get a lot of footage where it's kind of very one note from people. You know, it's them being angry, them being angry, them being angry.
Yeah, it's very one dimensional. Yeah.
Exactly. And actually, what casting directors want to see beyond, like, yeah, they want to know that you can go to those places, and that's a very small part of it. Ideally, what a showreel is going to do is going to show you having the ability to interact with other actors in a very natural, truthful way, but at the same time, being able to portray different characters, different circumstances that are all within your kind of casting bracket.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's essentially a show.
What would be your top advice? Why does an actor need a showreel?
So an actor kind of needs a showreel because
like, why is it
there's
so
a lot
important?
of competition. There's a lot of competition out there. And there's a lot more than there used to be, especially like when I started out when I was a kid. Let's go back. We're going back, Jesus, 23, 25 years now. When I started out as a kid, Spotlight was all just books. Like casting directors and agents, they would order these big sets of books. This is for like the I don't know, the kids that use TikTok now. They would order these big kind of like big sets of books, and it would have literally, you'd have A to C, D to F, you know, of actors. And what casting directors would do is literally just flick through these books and find headshots and be like, that person, that person, that person. And they
wow,
call
is
you.
that how they did it? Wow.
Yeah, well, that's part of how they did it. They would also, like, they would have preferred agents that they would go to as well and say, have you got anyone who's good for this role?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so like starting out as an actor back then, if you didn't have like a good agent, it was very, very, very difficult.
Yeah.
These days, because Spotlight's primarily online, like, I don't even know if they produce the books now, to be honest.
No, see, I had one in, I think when I first started, which was 2014.
Yeah.
I think I had like a purple one, and it was tiny. It was still a book, but it was tiny, and it had everything in it. But it didn't have these headshots that you're talking about or anything, because obviously it was some of it was online.
These were big volumes that were reserved for agents and casting directors only. Now, because it's all online, we have the capacity to basically view who an actor is in a single web page. So a casting director can literally look at a headshot and be like, yes or no, and then go to their CV. And then in their CV, you've got all their skills, all their abilities, their playing age, their like background, what they've done before, and their showreel. And the showreel is very important because essentially it gives them a sense of whether they should bring you in or not. Back then, again, it was a case of, you know, their headshot looks good, let's bring them in, see what they can do. These days they don't have the time to waste because it's so competitive. They get, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of submissions per role, so they're looking to whittle those thousands of submissions down to maybe a couple of hundred for the first auditions. And one of the ways that they're going to do that is by looking at your showreel and going, first of all, can this person act? Second of all, can this person act in the context that we're looking for? So do they have an element of what we're looking for in this character? You know, say you're playing like James Bond type or something like that. They're looking for someone, they might look at your showreel, see a romantic scene where you're being really suave and be like, oh, wow, that guy can kind of pull this off. Maybe we should bring them in. So that's kind of why showreels are important, because it kind of gives you a leg up on the rest. You still might get called in without a showreel, but it's going to give a casting director the sense of whether they really should bring you in or not. and a
Yeah, they're
really
going.
striking
Yeah.
showreel, something that really hits them hard, that
Mm,
can actually stick with them, and that
yeah.
can be the difference between actually them being like yes or no
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's very crucial, isn't it, for an actor to have one? Because I think if you've just got a headshot, you can still get a casting, but you're more likely to get, say, if you've got one person who's got just one headshot and one
Mm.
person who's got a headshot and a good show reel, they're
Yeah.
more likely to go with the person with the good show reel and the headshot, aren't they? Because of
In terms of
the
audition, I would say yes, but again, that
yeah,
depends.
that's what I mean.
It
Yeah,
depends
for
kind of.
casting.
It depends on time a little bit.
Yeah,
If they've got time to spare, they might, give the guy with the headshot a chance.
yeah,
But you're putting yourself at a disadvantage if you don't have a showreel.
yeah. Because
Uh,
it's like they want to see, like, if they watch your show reel, they go, oh, can this person match my vision? Do you know what I mean, for that role that I've been asked to cast and
that's
whatnot,
it.
isn't it? So,
That's
yeah,
it. And that's what they're looking for. Because first of all, they're looking at the headshot and they're going, does this person match the image I've got in my head of this character? And then
yeah,
after
okay,
that, they're asking the question, do they have the emotional capacity or, the internal kind of workings that I'm looking
yeah.
for in the character?
Oh, okay. All right. Next question. How can an actor just starting out, and doesn't
Yep.
have any footage, how can
Yep.
they get a show reel? What could they use as a show reel? What would you say they
So,
could?
um, so starting out right from the very beginning, you've got a number of options. So your first option is that you film some stuff yourself.
Yep. Okay.
Now, it's not going to be the best footage in the world,
No.
but
Yeah,
what
I
you
get
need
that.
to make sure of is that footage is you've got to make sure that even though the footage isn't great quality, it doesn't look like a professional film or
Mm,
anything like that, which it's
yeah.
never going to do. Um, you need to make sure that the quality of your acting shines through. What you're looking at is getting more professional looking footage. So stuff
Yeah.
that, doesn't just show, you're going to come on the keyboard, aren't you? Doesn't just show you acting, but also
Yeah.
shows you acting within the context of a professional film, with professional editing, with
Yeah.
quality lighting, etc., etc. The other thing you can do, which is a service that I offer, is to have your showreel shot professionally. So if you're finding it hard to get student films, or there is a capacity of your personality as an actor that you want to show
Yep.
that you're not getting seen
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
you're not even getting through the door for, but you can play. That's a really good option.
Okay.
Um, so what we do is, we have a 3-tier kind of
Package kind
payment
of
plan
thing.
that we do,
Yeah. Yeah.
where it gets cheaper as you buy more scenes,
Yep.
obviously.
Okay.
And we talk to our clients and we write the scenes to their specifications, what they're looking for.
Yep.
And usually what they'll do is they'll split the cost with another actor
Okay. Yeah.
for a similar nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the person that they're playing with is also sharing the cost with them.
Yeah.
That's, as I said, that's a really good option for either people who are, looking for a complete showreel revamp,
Yeah.
wanting to take their work to another level or
Yeah.
wanting to show something different, or people who literally just want that one scene that's going to show them in a different light to what they're being
Mm.
seen for at the moment.
Oh.
One of the number one kind of things I have to talk people down from is, they'll say, "Oh, I love this scene from Reservoir
Oh
Dogs," or
yeah,
something like
different
that,
like movies. Yeah, yeah,
And
TV
I'm
series.
like, okay, how many people in the world have seen Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah,
How many casting directors do you think have seen Reservoir Dogs?
yeah,
How many of those casting directors really liked Harvey Keitel in that role? you know,
yeah,
and ultimately, what they're going to be doing is comparing your performance to Harvey Keitel, whether
yeah.
they like it
Oh,
or not.
yeah, it
You know,
happens all the time, doesn't it? Yeah,
and they're always, because Harvey Keitel's a genius, they're pretty much always going to come up saying, "I preferred Harvey Keitel."
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And the other problem is as well that a lot of the time you just sort of end up doing an impression.
yeah,
It's almost like a remake of the scene, and it's not personal, and it looks more unprofessional. Like, regardless of how good a quality the film footage is, it looks unprofessional. It doesn't look like, you know, something that you've gone out and a piece of original work that you're presenting them with. You know, a showreel isn't you being Tom Hardy. It's not about, look how transformative I am, you know. It's about, this is me as an actor. These are the different elements of me as an actor. You know, because we all have different elements to our personality. We all have the capacity to play those different things. But we're all also suited a little bit better to certain roles. You know, when you get to Tom Hardy level, sure, you go play.
100%.
But you know, beyond that, what you're looking for essentially is to get work in your field, in your niche area.
Definitely. All right. How long should a showreel be?
How long? So there's a lot of debate about that.
Exactly.
Every time I've spoken to a casting director, what they say is they only have time to watch 20 seconds of a showreel.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You know, if they really like you, they might watch a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like if they're really, really enthralled and they think, this is the guy, or girl. But ultimately, you know, you can't show every aspect of yourself within 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. That's a long showreel.
What I do is I stick to Twitter rules, which Twitter only allows you to put up a 2-minute and 20-second video.
Yep. Okay.
Personally, I think that's a perfect length for a showreel. Less than that, great. More than that is overkill. If you want
it's too much.
If you want more than that, you need to whittle down your footage to its bare minimum, to the stuff that's really going to pop off the screen, that's really going to show you off, because you're not going to get the chance to show anyone that. You know, beyond that 20 seconds, you're not going to get the chance to show anyone that. So what I usually do as an actor, when I send off a showreel, my showreel, I will point the scene to them that I think is going to help them cast me. So rather than just being like, here's my showreel, because my showreel starts with a scene from a short film that I did called I Am Sherlock Holmes, which is where I'm playing a schizophrenic. Now it's got a lot of kind of nuance in it, because I'm playing both a guy suffering from a psychological meltdown, but also in his head he's playing Sherlock Holmes. But that's not going to be right for some roles. If I'm playing like a gangster or something like that, they don't need to see that. So what I'll do is I'll point them to my final scene of my showreel. I'll tell them where the time code is, and that then means that they can click straight to that, and they don't have to waste time with the rest of my showreel.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Okay. Going through the casting process myself on this show, I can tell you now, like, you don't want to watch more than 20 seconds of an actor's showreel. Full stop. You just don't, because I mean, we had over 1,000 submissions for this.
That's mad.
It went mental, like the amount of emails we had alone, you know, let alone the stuff on Twitter. So when you're watching showreels, you don't want to have to click beyond 20 seconds. You don't want to have to go through the thing just to try and find that piece of that person that fits your puzzle.
Well, how would you advise them to get them to tell the casting director what they're looking for?
This is a really important thing, is reading casting briefs. Reading casting briefs is essential. If you haven't read the casting brief properly, you don't know the character and you don't know if you're right for it. That's a full stop. That's an absolute period. Read the casting brief. Put your ego aside. Figure out what character is best for you. And then, as I've said, you can that way you have literally the capacity to point them to the part of your showreel that is going to show you off the best. The worst thing that a person can be when they're watching a showreel is bored. You know, last thing you want is for them to be like, bloody hell, this goes on. You know?
Exactly.
So the best, the two best things you can do is read the casting briefs and also grab their attention a little bit. You know, so when you're applying for roles, show people what they want to see. You know, when you're applying for roles, make sure that your emails are too long. And yeah, just put yourself in front of people as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like, make sure that they know who you are, as an actor and what you do. You know, make sure your headshot is everywhere, all over your profiles. Don't send off emails or applications willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Make sure each of them is crafted for the role that you are seeking, but also going to put you as much in the spotlight as possible. You know,
so
don't just send
actually,
off an email without any links or headshots or anything like that and expect to get an audition, because you won't.
what are the biggest mistakes that you see in a showreel?
Oh God.
This is why I said how to phrase it.
Wow.
If you just give me like what
Footage.
five?
So
Give me five.
I would say showreels that are too long.
Yep.
Showreels that give me no indication. Showreels that give you no indication of who the actor is.
Yeah.
In terms of what they're capable of, who they are emotionally. You know, when they've got like a sort of like a 5-second moment of them appearing in something, I'm like, why is this there?
Yeah.
Unless it's literally to show an archetype of a character, or an accent or something. Footage that doesn't feature you.
Yep. Okay. Oh,
so,
yeah. Yep.
You know, you might have a scene with Matt Damon. I just watched The Martian. That's why he's in my head. You know, you might have a dialogue scene with Matt Damon. You know, but if the camera is not cutting to you, you can't use it for your showreel.
Yeah, there's no point.
The camera hasn't cut to you. If you've got a take where it's like, look, I worked with Matt Damon. Look, I worked with Matt Damon. And then it cuts to you for like 2 seconds and then cuts back. That's not a showreel scene, because ultimately all it's doing is saying, I worked with Matt Damon. It's not saying, look at how good an actor I am.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just saying,
it's look how good my shoulder is at acting and reacting.
I'm a fan sort of thing, isn't it? Kind of thing.
A little bit, yeah. Well, it's more just kind of, it's boasting. Is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so they're trying to use Matt Damon as a step, but it's not going to work unless you've got really good footage. Then
because they don't know who you are as an actor. Poor sound in showreels.
Yep.
Footage, like, I can take or leave bad footage. Like, at the end of the day, you don't want it to be, you know, awful. You can tell when something hasn't been shot professionally or on a professional camera. But bad sound completely takes you out of it. It completely ruins. If you're shooting a scene yourself, or someone else is shooting a scene for you, make sure that they are listening to that take back. You know, make sure that they know the sound is good. Because if the sound's going to be crap, then it's going to look like a crap scene. Oh, montages. Each clip doesn't need to be more than kind of like anywhere between 20 and 40 seconds.
Okay.
And limit it to like 3 clips.
What are your thoughts on monologues being in a showreel?
I mean, monologues in showreels, ultimately, it's a no-no. Unless there's exceptional circumstances.
Is there anything else that you want to ask for like showreels, or?
I think the key thing is just for actors to be aware of what they're putting out there. Ultimately, you know, you want this thing, the showreel, to showcase you at the best of your ability. There's no use putting a scene in there if you don't think it's good. You know, and also feel free to consult people. You know, feel free to say to people, look, like, who you trust. I wouldn't just chuck it up, you know, an actor's page on Facebook or something. Never know what responses you're going to get there. Ask people who you trust and say, look, can you take a look at this? What needs to change? You know, what can I get rid of? That sort of thing. Ultimately, the more streamlined a showreel is, the better. and make sure that when you are giving it to when you're giving it to people, they know why they should consider you for the role.
Yeah, I like that one because that's it's very direct to the person who you're contacting or directing it at. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
totally. And if you've got special skills as well, tell them about your special skills. If you're going up for the role of like an army ranger or something like that, don't just go, hey, here's my showreel. You know, say I've got firearms training, or I served in the army. You know, if you served in the army, you have 20 legs up already on an actor. You know, you know,
you have the advantage, so use it. Yeah,
exactly. Use what you've got because it's a dog eat dog world. You know.
Have you got any projects coming up? Obviously, I know you've got the Humanity.
We are still editing showreels, so if anyone does need their showreel editing or they want advice, please feel free to get in touch. actorsedits@gmail.com. We're also offering online actors classes. So you and a friend or you yourself, you know, we can do online tuition. I've got a few students who I'm working with now who I've seen some really, really great improvements from them. And it's really wonderful that during lockdown they're able to stay creative in that way.
Yeah. So obviously people can find you on actorsedits.com. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, actorsedits.com. On Instagram, we are Actors Showreel. Actors Edits on Facebook, Actors Edits on, I think it's Actors Edits on Twitter. And yeah, look out for our blogs as well. It's been a little bit crazy right now, so it's been difficult for me to get blogs out, but I do try and regularly post blogs with acting advice, advice for your showreels, you know, anything to do with acting is what we post. Motivational stuff as well, because we're living in a time right now that it's very difficult to kind of be at home and not know what to do and feel a little bit despondent. So I think it's important for everyone who has at least some level of a voice to use that voice to inspire others.
Yeah. So, well, if you send me all your showreel, not showreel, if you send me all your social media links.
Of course, yeah.
And then I'll put it down in the description. And then if people want to check you out, they can check you out in the description.
Banging.
I appreciate the time, Johnny. I really do. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you. It's been great.
Hey guys, so that was Johnny Neal. He runs a website called actingedits.com. He's a showreel editor and he also produces showreels from scratch. If you do want to get in touch with him, I'll leave the links in the description. And if you feel like you get value from this, consider subscribing and pressing that like button. And I'll see you soon.